Morning guys, thank you very much to all of our new subscribers. Thank you for joining us. It's so appreciated, you guys, for subscribing. A huge thanks from myself, Jeek, and everyone else at the team. You're the lifeblood of the channel. Thank you so much, guys. So this video, I think I'm going to get out my M3 today. I'm going to enjoy a dry Driftland. I'm going to try and see if I can do the perfect backwards entry. I've had this BMW M3 now for almost 6 years, so I've been through lots of different changes in the car. You probably want to know what makes this car good at doing a backy, perhaps. So this car has got an SLR super steering angle kit. That's a mid-level kit with the tubular arms. It has the car set up for parallel steer to give it a nice feel. The SLR kit also quickens the steering rack, and it also does a roll center correction. So basically what it does is it drops the pickup points on the hubs, so basically your front wishbones kind of level back out again, giving you hopefully more grip on lock and also reducing bump steer. That's all the kind of technical stuff. I'll be lying if I knew particularly what that did, but I do know that it drives really nicely and it is particularly good on drift, and I really like the SLR kit fitted to this car. I've got some quite ropey old HSD monopros fitted to the car at the front. They have been on the car quite a long time, and I've got BC True rear coilovers fitted to the rear. I've got standard anti-roll bars, but my anti-roll bars are connected. Now I know some E36 drivers prefer to go without those connected, but I prefer it with the anti-roll bars. I've tweaked my suspension, my damping settings front and rear, how I quite like it, and I find that makes a massive difference. So if you're at a Driftland practice day and you have adjustable suspension, definitely spend some time tweaking that. Don't just leave it bang in the middle or full hard or full soft. Spend some time adjusting it and you will definitely notice a big difference. The car's got about 8 degrees worth of camber and 6 degrees of caster. That seems to work. Again, I've adjusted both the camber and caster and done a little bit of testing, and that's kind of how I like it. It's dry on track today. Front tyres are Nankang NS2Rs. I won't lie to you, I got these for free from Ewan Stark, so thank you very much, Ewan. They have inner wear on them, so they came off his road car, and I've had them on the car for the last year or so. I'm not a big fan of them, to be honest. I find the really bad grip until they get up to temperature, but it takes a good few minutes to get there, so that might help doing a backy, because you kind of want the front of the car to wash a little bit wide, so that could be useful for trying to do the backwards entry attempts. On the rear, 215/40s on a 10, which is quite a stretch. That's not as much grip as I'd like, so and also a 215/40 does tend to fall off the 10 often, so hopefully it stays on. I pumped the back up to 32 psi, front's at 28 psi, and apart from that, I think everything else is just going to be down to how I drive and what I learned from doing this. I'm going to try and go in with a handbrake first, put on a lot of angle, try and let go of the wheel and feel what the wheel does. Brakes, I think brakes are going to help me here. I'm not sure when to get on the brakes and if that's going to lock up the front, push that wide. Maybe that'll help me get out of a situation where I over rotate. The only thing I'm going to do is try and see what happens, try and learn from it. So let's go on track. So get myself strapped in, hopefully spend a bit of time looking out of the side windows today. Getting into a race car, never cool, doubly uncool when it's me doing it. Properly there, need to give it a sharper pull, and then I got some mid-corner understeer, which might work in my favour, but I've got to think about doing that in future, thinking about the understeer being there and then react as a result, so quite a lot to think about there. faster, a bit more definite on the entry that time. I think I got that 90 degrees. A little bit sketchy at the end, felt like it might over rotate, so I've just got to watch out for that. Still in second. Responded well to it. I enjoyed that. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one too. So that felt faster and wider. That felt like I can maybe go in the second this time. So I think we're going to try nice and fast this time. We'll try and handbrake into the second. So plenty of angle, plenty of speed, run a bit wider this time. Quite a lot happened there. Yeah, it all went pretty well. Maybe we could have got a bit more angle on, I think. Didn't quite time my handbrake quite right, so I'm going to try and go in and be a bit more definite on my handbrake this time. Just like a normal entry, it felt like maybe 60 degrees. It felt okay, but I think I can go further than that. I think I can push that a lot further. There, it means you can get a lot further sideways and then you can pull the car back out of it. So I'm just coming off all the controls at that point and then just letting it wash. So quite enjoyed that. Try again. Very narrow though, so you need to do that later. I felt like I was going to spin, but the car came back round. Thanks SLR Kit. I didn't flick onto as much angle as I wanted. It felt nice, felt the line was really good that time, but I still could have put a bit more angle on. Pretty happy with that one. Just attacked it a bit more, made sure I stuck to the right line, right initiation point. Okay, that's all very well with the handbrake, but what happens if I try in with the clutch this time? So I need to do a bit earlier this time, I reckon. just wasn't enough angle, so more angle required, bigger clutch kick required this time. But that was wide, just about lost it on the track there. That was funny. As they say, the worst thing you can do at Driftland and the drifting, especially drift my ride, is say one more run, but it's all it was survived. Got a little bit more tyre now, so let's have a big clutch kick into the big corner to finish. This car is loads of angle, loads of brakes, try and sneak into the S's there without falling off the track. Woo. So you'll notice I'm not quite as sweaty as when it was in the MX-5. Guys who've watched our MX-5 video, and if you haven't seen that yet, click that link just up there. It's is that sort of MX-5 hard to drift? A lot harder than the E36. You can see I can just change up, I can chuck on angle, I can wait for it to all fall off, I can get back on the power again, I can use second, I can use third. I'm kind of spoiled a bit in the E36 by comparison, so that means you can spend the time testing out lots of cool different things to do in the car. At Driftland, we do a lot of different practice days throughout the year. We're going to focus mainly on seat time for 2019, so get yourself down to Driftland. Try the different layouts. Every day we'll run a different layout. Try it out with your car, make a little change. Try and change throughout the day. If you've got adjustable suspension, try and use that to your advantage. Change tyre pressures as well. So front and rear tyre balance of pressures makes a huge difference. Spend the time in the car, use that seat time wisely, and improve your car and improve your driving as a result. So, doing the perfect backwards entry, what did I learn? The first thing I think I learned was I've got a lot more to learn, definitely, and make myself a bit more reliable at it. The second thing I noticed was I didn't really use the brakes too much after initiation, maybe a couple of times hovered over the pedal. I think there's a lot more for me to learn there. There's also probably a lot more that I can learn from getting the car sideways quicker and then letting it wash itself back out again. I think that would probably make for a better backie. I'm eager to try some more, especially more with a clutch entry, so maybe a later initiation, more angle with the clutch kick entry. I think there's another video in it, to be honest. I think I get to try again, so watch this space. As always guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you if you have subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, please give me a little click down the bottom, give me a little smash on the bell, and I'll see you guys soon in another video. Cheers!